everybody. It's great to see everybody. Well, virtually see everybody. My name is Mr. Lamb. I'm going to be your chemistry teacher this year, and this is the first video in a series on Chemistry 1. I'm very excited to get this series started. We're going to have a lot of fun this year. As you know, this is a part of my flipped classroom. You have a note sheet that's in front of you that you should be ready to take notes on. Make sure that you're listening, because somewhere in the video I may ask a question that you need to write down inside of your notes in order to receive credit. So this video will be relatively short. My goal is to try to keep the videos somewhere between 5 and 15 minutes. It just depends on the content area that we're looking at and what we're trying to do. So without further ado, let's get started, guys. So with each video, you're going to have a set of learning targets, and the learning targets are things that you should be able to do by the end of the video. So for this one, you should be able to explain the concept of chemistry and what will be studied in class, and then evaluate the purpose of chemistry and understand how it helps us understand, change, and improve the world around us. Chemistry is a very interesting subject. It's the basis of what all life is. It's the basis of all of the things that are around us, and it's very, very interesting to study. You've got a couple key vocabulary terms here, just the term chemistry and chemical. So we're going to start off pretty easy on you guys. So chemistry itself is simply the study of the structure, composition, and properties of matter, and all those processes that matter undergoes. Now keep in mind, matter is everything. You know, this water bottle is matter, my cell phone is matter, this cup of corn that I was eating, yes, I eat corn, are made up of chemicals, they're made up of matter. And chemistry is the study of that. You know, the chemicals that are inside of this bottle, you know, there's H2O here, that's a chemical. The bottle itself is different. The microchips that are in my cell phone, the chemical composition of corn, all of them are made up of different chemicals. And in chemistry, we're going to study the structure of those, as well as chemical changes that they undergo. If water gets hot, water is under a lot of heat, then it converts into steam. That is a chemical, or rather that is a physical change, but that is those types of changes and those processes that the matter undergoes. And keep in mind, chemistry is related to a lot of other sciences. If you took biology, you probably studied quite a bit of biochemistry, learning about carbohydrates and proteins and lipids and all that kind of stuff. And the basis of chemistry is, and a lot of the fundamentals of chemistry are based off of ideas that we take from physics. So all of these sciences are really intertwined and related in the field of science itself. So just some branches of chemistry, because chemistry is a very broad subject. We break it down a little bit further. Organic chemistry is the study of carbon and all of the different carbon compounds that can be formed. All of life as we know it is made up of carbon compounds, and most of the things that are living are made of carbon. So organic chemistry, very important to life sciences. In organic chemistry, things that are not made of carbon. Kind of makes sense. Organic, inorganic. Physical chemistry, just how matter changes, the processes in which matter is converted from one substance to another. Does it release heat? Does it absorb heat? What about entropy? All of these different chemical terms play a role in physical chemistry. Analytical chemistry, which is the identification of materials. So if we have an unknown substance, maybe we discover a plant in the Amazon rainforest and want to know more about the chemicals that are inside of it that make it able to live. Analytical chemists would be able to identify those materials. Biochemistry is the chemistry of life. That root bio, you should know, means living. So biochemistry literally means the study of life. And there's also theoretical chemistry, which is chemistry of things that are unknown. If you take a look at the periodic table, there are a substantial number of man-made elements that are on that periodic table, particularly the ones that are towards the end of the periodic table. We don't know a lot about the properties of these elements because they never last long enough for us to be able to study them. So we use theoretical chemistry to think about and reflect on how those atoms might behave under certain circumstances. So if we can make them more stable, we might be able to use them in our everyday lives. So I keep talking about chemicals, and chemicals are just a substance that has a definite composition. So if you look on the right here, we have a small little dish of salt. Table salt is sodium chloride, NaCl. Every single grain of salt that is there is composed up of sodium and chlorine. Same thing with what is down below. That's ice. Ice's chemical composition is H2O. Each H2O molecule has a definite composition. So a chemical is simply just that substance that has that definite composition, whether it be salt, whether it be ice in the form of water, it could be sugar, it could be bicarbonate of soda, could be iodine. There's lots of different chemicals that are out there that we are going to study in this chemistry class. So what are some really unique applications of chemistry? Well, first thing we think about is foods. When we cook our foods, they're undergoing some amazing chemical transformations. And a lot of those chemical transformations actually make them taste the way that they do. There is a very famous chef by the name of Heston Blumenthal. And Heston Blumenthal actually pairs up certain foods in his dishes based on the chemistry and the composition of those types of foods. It's a very interesting way to look at food preparation and being a chef. Sports, if you look on the right there, Gatorade is a very famous application of chemistry in sports. There are a lot of electrolytes that are in there that actually help you replenish water inside of your body faster. And there's some simple sugars in there that help give you immediate energy. So there's lots of applications for chemistry in sports itself. In terms of safety, we're developing chemicals that are light as t-shirts but are able to actually physically stop bullets from going through them. It's an amazing concept in chemistry to be able to do something like that, and that's something we're going to look at as well. Technology, a lot of the microchips that we have created are based on silicon. So technology and computers and laptops and all of those things have a huge application in the world of chemistry. And medicine, all of the medicines that we take are made up of chemical compounds. Some of them natural, some of them were artificially made in a lab. Regardless, they're made up of chemicals. And so studying chemistry helps us better understand what those medicines are, how we can create those medicines, as well as how do they work and react inside of the body. So again, just a short, brief introduction to what chemistry is and how chemistry works. And hopefully you understand that chemistry is the study of the composition, changes, structures, and properties of all of the matter around us. Multiple chemistry disciplines allow us to study a variety of properties of matter and the applications to society. And chemistry really helps to improve society. A lot of the things that we work with today and a lot of the things that we eat, drink, and see on a daily basis are based on the fact that chemists worked on them to help create those things or help discover them or help try to understand them. So chemistry is a very, very important subject, and I'm really excited for this year to dive in with you into the world of chemistry. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot of really cool experiments. Just to review our learning targets, hopefully you can explain the concept of chemistry and evaluate its purpose. I don't have a question for this video today, but be prepared for some more in the future. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.